Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. First, let me thank the organizing committee for inviting me to share my thoughts and also to welcome the moderator as well as the fellow panel members on these important topics of artificial intelligence in Islamic finance. The topic that I've been given is on the artificial intelligence in Islamic banking, the future vision. If you look at what are the potentials of artificial intelligence, there are a couple of reports that talks about the potential economic benefits of artificial intelligence. For example, PwC reported in 2017 that AI, artificial intelligence, could potentially contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. And also raising the GDP of countries which implement AI by 26%. So there is indeed a very significant growth. Again, notwithstanding the current issues that we face today, the coronavirus and the impact to the global economy. Okay, again, this forecast was done way back in 2017. But what do we understand by the term artificial intelligence? There are many definitions if you look at the definition of artificial intelligence, but what I'm doing is I'm taking a very simplified definition, which I like very much, which is used by Essential. It says that a computer system that can sense, comprehend, act, and learn, a system that can perceive the world around it, analyze and understand the information it receives, take actions based on that understanding, and improve its own performance by learning from what happened. So essentially, it is trying to simulate the human thinking and human decision making. And that's what we meant in simple terms, the artificial intelligence. Moving forward, what we're going to look at the application of artificial intelligence in banking. So if you look in this particular context, why banks are interested to implement artificial intelligence is one, which is, you can see, to grow the revenue as well as to reduce costs. You know, doing banking involves huge amount of transaction costs. So implementing artificial intelligence, one, reduces the number of human beings that are required to implement those transactions. So thereby, you are going to reduce your transaction costs. At the same time, you are able to offer new products and services that will increase your revenue. That's the main one. So increasing revenue, therefore reducing your costs. The second component is improving customer experience. And this is already seen in a number of countries that have implemented AI in banking, whereby banks are able to offer personalized products to consumers. We no longer have a standard products. Banks can develop personalized products, be it in the context of banking products, or, for example, takaful companies or insurance companies develop personalized products to consumers, to customers. Therefore, customers will be able to have a better products and better experience. And of course, finally, is to strengthen risk management of banks. And this is one of the major applications of AI in banking. So what I am going to talk is essentially to look at what are the current and future use of AI in both conventional and Islamic banking, to look at some of the issues and challenges, and provide some perspective on the development of AI for Islamic banks. Just now, the earlier session talks about blockchain. Of course, blockchain is one component, AI is another component of how to drive better banking to the public and the populations. Currently, if you look at the applications of AI, we can divide into 4 segments. One is front office, second is back office, third is the trading portfolio management, and fourth is regulatory compliance. And all of these are already available in some form or another in different countries. So what I did was I looked at the practices of a number of countries and share with you some of those experiences. So, for example, in the context of front office, Credit scoring is one of the important application. Takaful or insurance products, client-facing chatbots, which I'll be giving some examples. KYC, know your customers. On the back office, risk management, stress testing, fraud management. On the portfolio trading management is the trade execution, portfolio management. This is where we have the Robo Advisors. And then regulatory compliance, talking about the data quality assurance, microprudential surveillance. Okay, if you look at one of the countries that is most advanced in implementing AI is Hong Kong. They have issued 8 digital banks, and many banks there are implementing AI. So based on the Hong Kong practice, there are about 5 major areas that Hong Kong banks are implementing AI. One is cybersecurity applications, meaning that to ensure that customers are protected from cybersecurity fraud and cybersecurity hacking. Secondly is client-facing chatbots, which means that, for example, when you log into the banking, there will be an engine, artificial intelligence engine, that will be interacting with you, not human. Human will come only later, at the later stage. Third is remote client onboarding, which means that when you open an account, you need not meet a human being. It's all done through the artificial intelligence, and that will save a lot of time and money. Fourth is biometric customer identification, which means that all these identifications are done through artificial intelligence. And fourth is personalized advertisement and products. Okay, some of the examples you can see is, for example, another study done by SES and GAP. The application of AI is in the context of automation, credit scoring, data cleansing, and enhancement and risk grading. Moving forward, again, bearing the time, I will try to move. Some of the examples used in Hong Kong, for example, chatbot. You know, banks every day receive phone calls, so rather than employing individual human beings, they can reduce the cost by using artificial intelligence. So that engine, or the artificial intelligence, will interact with human beings in response to questions and provide solutions. And for example, in Hong Kong Bank, they are able to handle 4 million inquiries per day. Bank of America launched Erica, which is used to forecast customer balance sheet expanding behavior. Back in the GCC countries, Kuwait Finance House introduced ByTAC assistants that will handle customer credit applications and autonomously create credit reports for clients. Okay, let me just give an example here. In the client onboarding, I think one of the challenges that public face when opening a bank account is the time that you want to open a bank account. Sometimes opening a bank account may take 1 hour or more. So it is costly, it is timely, time-consuming, and involve a lot of paperwork. My experience, again, when I open a bank account using the AI applications, it can be done in less than 15 minutes. Everything is done through online. What you do is that first you snap your ID. After you snap your ID, then you record a video. It records your face as well as your voice. In less than 15 minutes, your banking account has been approved and you now have a bank account. All done within your own place, either office or your own home, without having to go to a branch. So this is the advantage of artificial intelligence. Save time, save money, and speed, give you speed. So this is an example of what it can be seen here. So you upload your initial documents. It also has a scheme, what we call facial recognition, voice recognition, and it tests the KYC, know your customer, by looking at your ID. And subsequently, they will check the machine, the artificial intelligence will check you, and within a short period, your account will be approved. Okay, so that's one example which is already being done in a number of countries. Secondly is the example of Robo Advisors, where you can get professional advice through digital applications or through web without having to go and visit someone. It's all done through artificial intelligence. And we do have now in the Islamic finance space, we have Wahid Investment as an example. It provides you a robo-advisory to invest in Sharia-compliant equity instruments globally. not only in US, but also globally in Malaysia and many other countries. So Robo Advisor is one of the practice that's being done currently.
2 minutes more.
Okay, and then on the issue of fraud detection, so I have to check the fraud detection. Let me just go quickly on the issues. Some of the issues are about data availability, data security, and ethical regulations. I think to me what I want to focus is more on the ethical regulations. See, what we look at the moment is that when we talk about artificial intelligence, there is no regulation at the moment, and particularly in the context of when we have Islamic banking applying artificial intelligence, what are the regulations, what are the guidelines? Do we have Sharia guidelines that are being developed? Currently, the answer is no. So which means that regulators will have to go into this area, work with Sharia advisors to develop guidelines, okay, for the applications of AI in banking. And of course, the other component is lack of expertise, okay? You talk about artificial intelligence, there are not many experts. So again, how do you bridge between Islamic finance and AI? You need to have both individuals who are good in Islamic finance, Sharia as well, including the AI, if you want to bring AI to the next level. However, there are issues relating to AI, apart from what we call it, individuals will be losing out jobs. But more importantly, what I want to focus is, in the context of Islamic finance, at the moment, not many Islamic banks are implementing AI. Technology of Islamic banking is always lag behind conventional bank. However, what is needed in this particular case is, for example, pushing further artificial intelligence within the Islamic finance space. What examples can I can share? One of the examples, which is nearby, is what you call it, the initial Sharia resolution or Sharia fatwa, which means that already, example in Dubai, where Darul Iftar issued a AI Sharia ruling, okay? It's not by individual, but done by machine. So what we're saying is that, for example, for an Islamic bank, if you want to do a Sharia review, you can create an AI to do the first round of screening. Okay, first round of screening. Once it's done, then it can be taken by an individual in order to refine it further. So AI will reduce the need for manpower, will reduce your costs. Okay, so what we say here, to help to develop products, to assist Sharia department, Sharia review, Sharia audit, and also to assist Sharia supervisory board. It will also help in terms of developing what we call incorporating the sustainable development goals in the financing and investment decisions. Bank can develop AI for the purpose of what we call it, deciding what kind of investment, what kind of financing decision that an Islamic bank can decide, incorporating those principles by using AI as one of the tools. Finally, is that at the moment, you see that some Islamic banks are already implementing AI in customer onboarding, in what we call it chatbot, in KYC, and in some back office operations. But the idea now is to move forward in order to enhance the Sharia resolution, Sharia ruling. So if we can incorporate both the Sharia resolutions and AI, it will help Islamic banking to move forward. Again, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.